Sorry, I thought I was the president of Nigeria. I didn't know where tech is. And I kind of like the president a lot because he believes so much in the youth and not just believing in the youth, he also believes in guiding the youth. I think someone made a joke some time ago and mentioned that the president was asked, why can't you just let the youth run their thing? And it was like, we cannot allow the youth to run on their own because if we allow the youth to run Nigeria 100%, one of these days we'll just get to Asorok and they're dancing shaku shaku. So he needs to guide us a lot, and that's one thing I take from that joke is the fact that the Nigerian youth are some people that if you give them 100% support, they come out really, really amazing. And I can tell you this for free. In the past 6 years and counting, I have been very, very privileged, not qualified, but very, very privileged to have led a lot of trainings, starting from the NYSC up onto other arms of the youth. And one thing I've seen consistent is that when youth put their mind to doing something, they do it with everything that makes them be. And that is one of the reasons why we are very, very happy to have you here. My name is Felix Obuji. I am the presiding bishop, the archbishop of this ministry. All right, so my job is going to be to just come in one or two times, speak to us, and move away as quickly as I can so some subject experts can come really, really do what they know how to do better. And one of the things I love about this gathering is it's a gathering of every single person here who is a young person. So it's not like we're having some very old guys coming to tell us stories. It's going to get practical. It's going to get really, really direct to the point. But before we do that, can I ask us for a little favor so that we can have these optics and have these things go out and they can like, oh, great, these guys can organize themselves. And I believe we can do that. Please, every seat in front of you, can we just start filling them so we can have a family meeting? I like to have family meetings. So we'll just take a few seconds and fill every seat before you. So I'll start with the first row. Let me also tell you that we're going to be sharing food, but we'll start from the front rows just in case. And so if you're at the back, maybe we'll just have a limited number of food, so toothpick can get to you at the back. So don't miss out. All right, so fill the seats in front first. Oh, we're doing amazing. I like this. And those of us on the left, you could also try to get to the right. Amazing. Wow. I wish all churches could be like this. And while we're doing that, let me quickly welcome you officially to Tech for Good 2.0. So this is not doing it for the first time. This is us consistently repeating and building on the success of the 1.0 rather. And this is coming to you courtesy of the one and only organization that totally, now I feel like my distance is really, really scanty. Yeah, the ones in front. Thank you. You're a VIP, so we'll just wait for you. Okay, so let's just fill this part so that it doesn't look like we reserved that part for. Nobody from here. Oh, amazing. Thank you so much. You can attest to the fact that it was really amazing, right? True or yes? And so what we're doing here today is consolidating on the gains of last year. And I'll give you bits about why this is really, really important to everyone that is here. A few months ago, I was invited to come and speak on a topic. Crazy as it may sound, the topic was the evils of technology. And this is somebody that every money I've ever made in my life, like literally every money I've ever made in my life, whether as a corporate MC, okay, no, as a corporate MC, I've made money other places too. But majority of the money I've made in my life, either as a corporate MC, as a tech person, as a speaker, always has come from tech. And then somebody is inviting me to come and speak on the evils of tech. So this is more like going there and say, well, I know that I'm the one doing it all, but we are evil. It didn't sound right, right? So when I got in there, I told them, I said, I am not going to speak on the evils of tech because for me, tech has never been evil. There's never any intention of tech from the inception up to today that is evil. Tech has always been designed for good. What makes it seem as if it's evil is a combination of wrong usage or wrong application and an abundance of ignorance. True or yes? You agree with me? Wrong application or wrong usage plus an abundance of ignorance. So people try to leverage on the ignorance of many persons who are not literally tech savvy, and then they try to create some nefarious actions or things and apply them, and then people think that tech is evil. Tech has never been evil. And that is what Techrity is doing here today, trying to drive and, of course, recognize the people that have been applying tech to doing good. Please, can we celebrate Techrity? On that note, just to set the stage and for us to move really, really faster, maybe after now we're going to be doing our the blue carpet. So we'll all go out and take photographs after the session. And I can tell you that there's a lot to keep you going. The only thing I don't think we have here is lion meat. But anyway, just hope nobody knows something like that could spring up. And so for our phones and for us to have an amazing, amazing session, please turn off your phone. Sorry, not turn them off. Just put them on silence. Okay? I think some persons should be doing that right now. So, so put our phones on silent so it doesn't get BP. And is to my left. See them amazing people standing. If you just go out there and do a right, you will see the restroom. Just in case you feel like me sometimes, you can just go in there, use the restroom, and then come back. Don't rest there. Just do the thing and come back. And come and rest here. And then the exit doors and the mustard place is just out there and they will go out. But don't fear. Nothing is happening. I don't think there's any red alert in River State. Is there any? All right. So for snacks and drinks, I think we have some outside that you could just use. But most importantly, there is a mesh. This session is coming to you absolutely for free. But it is not coming to you for free at the expense of you. That's why it's free to you. But someone is definitely paying for this. And that is because some people decided to pay it forward. At the right time, we're going to be talking about that. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to recognize a few persons here in our midst. I'll start with the most important person. This person, without you to stand on your feet, is it doesn't seem right that we're going to. Is why this event is already holding and it's a success. Celebrate yourself once more and please sit down. Thank you so much. All right. So now recognize with us. I'll start with our panelists because we're going to grill them. We'll ask them so many questions and I believe that their stories are going to be. So we'll celebrate our one and only Wisdom Wokocha. In the same vein, we have our own very delectable Philip Atimo. I'm not sure I got that right. Please, can that be corrected? I know the Philip and I know his name is not Atimo. Except in Don Blue decide to change his name. All right. You know, in Nigeria, anything can happen. So I'm just kind of, I know Philip. How come Atimo now? All right. So, Philip, except you don't blow, you don't want to give me small, my 9%. I know they follow God, drag 10%. Uh-huh. All right. So, we have Philip Obiora. Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for Philip Obiora. And of course, to sit as one of our panelists, we have Godwin Jimmy. Please put your hands together for Godwin Jimmy. Some Kene Maman, another amazing, amazing tech entrepreneur, somebody who has really, really done well for himself, is also going to be sitting on our panel. Please put your hands together for him. We also have on the panel Shulamite Joyful John, an amazing, amazing woman tech person. I needed to put that gender thing so that I'm not being gender sensitive or gender biased, but I'm telling you, I've listened to her speak on many platforms. And I tell you, she's amazing. And we are privileged to have her join us here today. Sokaribo Senibo is also to sit on our panel list. Please, can you put your hands together for him? Solomon Essene. We're also privileged to have Solomon Essene also sit there. And of course, we have our amazing, amazing appearances here today. Very special people. In due time, we're going to be recognizing them properly. We have Smith Wokocha already seated. I saw him coming in. And then the blockchain Uniport. Please, can we celebrate them? Like I did mention, I'll be stepping off from here so that I can give room to the persons who are going to be speaking to us. On that, in no particular order, we have our speakers, Davio White. We also have seated already our own very Franca Omasoye Iwe. Beautiful lady. And of course, we're going to be listening to one of the very, very prominent voices in terms of technology in the Port Harcourt community and, of course, in extension Nigeria and the entire Africa. Our own very Bruce Lucas. If you know how serious we are, you will know that if we bring in Sokaribo Senebo to the speakers list, we know that he has what it takes to deliver. Please celebrate him once again. Also to speak with us, we have Tosin Emmanuel, one of our speakers. And because we are a people that believe in organizations and individuals, as long as we are advancing technology, ladies and gentlemen, we have the privilege of recognizing those organizations that have partnered with us and have delivered consistently, like the Nigerians will say, back to back when it comes to dividends of technology. Please put your hands as Hub, Extend Africa, Technoville Innovation Nigeria, Inform Her by Hellis Gates. That's a product, but we are celebrating Hellis Gate. And of course, Code Ambassadors. All right, so that off the mark, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me at this time with a Nigerian agenda in the Nigerian projects. And so
for you the truth to know in love and honesty to grow and live in just and truth. Great love see heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign.
thank you so much. Please celebrate them as they make their way back to the seats. God bless you. God bless you. You may sit down. All right. So you see, every one of us actually knows this anthem. But we are like, is it the national anthem or the technology anthem? We are not so sure. Abi, that's where the doubt was coming from. All right, so it was actually the national anthem, the second stanza. So thank you so much. All right, so we're going to get busy a bit before I bring someone up. If you have your phone, we're going to be working with three hashtags. So the first one is going to be that we're going to be tweeting using our favorite social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anyone that you feel comfortable with. Please make sure that you make a tweet. Take a photo with someone here. Take a photo, selfie. If the person close to you is not smiling, come and snap with me. That's fine. All right, because I know I'm going to be smiling all through. All right, so take a photo with someone, take a selfie, share it, and tag Techrity at Techrity on any of the social media, Techrity.org at Techrity.org. And then the hashtag we're going to be using is hashtag hash tech for good, hashtag Techrity, and of course, hashtag T4G. All right, so that's the additional hashtag we're going to be using. Make sure that you're tweeting, make sure that you're doing something around that space. Ladies and gentlemen, with that off the mark, let me quickly make welcome to the microphone someone who is going to tell us the reason why we are here in a bit and in a nutshell. Please put your hands together as I make welcome Caleb Duff. Keep celebrating him until he gets here to get.
And welcome to Tech for Good 2.0. I said welcome to Tech for G 2.0. Say thank you. Okay, thank you guys for joining us, but I will be using this opportunity to officially welcome you. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Caleb Duff. I'm the program manager for mentorship at Techrity. I take great pleasure in welcoming all participants to this important occasion in the tech ecosystem. I welcome all the eminent seekers and the guests abroad and within Nigeria from different walks of life who are joining us physically or remotely. Today, we are gathered here for the second edition of the Tech for Good conference, that is T4G 2.0, which is still expanding on its maiden success. I tell you, this edition promises to be exciting, mind blowing, and engaging as well. Out of all other tech conferences and meetup, I believe that more than any other, this is one conference that expresses the charitability of the tech ecosystem, as well as showcasing its support for the United Nations Social Good Initiative. What is Tech for Good? Tech for Good is an initiative of the Techrity Innovation Foundation, aka Techrity. So I'll use the next few minutes to tell you a few things about Techrity, the background for the Tech for Good conference, and our motivation, what drives us. So, the Tech for Good conference is an annual conference aimed to champion and showcase the various contributions of individuals, organizations using tech for social impact. For us, it is the intentional use of technology to try and have a positive and measurable impact in Africa and the world at large. Tech for Good brings together students, communities, hubs, organizations, non-profits, etc., to explore veritable use cases for using technology for social good. For those of you who have little or no information about Techrity, Techrity is a non-profit social enterprise, a community of people building and contributing to the advancement of humanity through their time, money, and as well as their skills. At Techrity, we believe in the power of using technology for sustainable human capital advancement. We're all about inspiring the youth to take up careers in tech through mentorship and Kickstart program. Basically, at Techrity, we work with that mantra. We inspire, we coach, and we build. And we do that using three basic programs. We have our mentorship program, and we have our Kickstart program, and we have our Build for Social Good program. So I'll tell you a bit of all these programs in a bit. Um, okay. So for the talent development, the Kickstart program, we go about looking for interested and young people who are focus oriented and growth and development, that who are focus oriented and who are interested in growth and development. So what we do with these people, these are total beginners. We take them into our shell, right, into our hub or into our ecosystem, and we help them with access to mentors. We help them with basic facilities like laptops, yeah, data support, mentorship. So we, the last year we had the Kickstart program. We had two beneficiaries from the last year's Kickstart program, two young guys from two different schools in Port Harcourt, and they won laptops individually, and they are currently kickstarting their undergoing mentorship program with the code ambassadorship people. And this is one of the ways we are developing the and expanding the ecosystem. So we are trying to catch them young. So we also have the mentorship program. This is, we have currently the mentorship program that is running currently, the 2.0. We had a maiden edition for last year, and the mentorship program is basically we help. Okay, these are pictures of the people that the beneficiaries of the Kickstart program and mentorship program. We support young mentees who are, there's basically challenge with this tech thing. You might be interested in developing yourself, but somehow you have several challenges like data, light, yeah, laptop. So we try as much as possible with the few resources we have. We try to reach out to people with mentorship support. So we have different areas of the mentorship support. We currently have the 2.0 running, which is basically remote. So you don't need to come. We don't need a physical appearance. So you just sign up. We have amazing mentors who are volunteering their time and their resources to mentor these mentees. And also, we have the Build for Social Good program. So the Build for Social Good program is basically about social innovation. So we hold a yearly or an annual hackathon where people come together to build products that are going to be used for the good of the immediate community or Africa at large. So this year also we are going to be having the social Build for Social Good hackathon where and prizes are there to be won, cash prizes and other categories of prizes. So with that, we are pleased to have an amazing set of speakers and panelists who will be gracing the podium soon to enlighten us and share from their wealth of knowledge and experience across various topics. Sit tight and enjoy. We are also proud to announce that this conference is being conducted alongside the support and partnership of several organizations like Mentally and Nikki Ket, NFT, NFT's Ket, yeah. And that being said, once again, I say welcome to Tech for Good 2.0 conference, and I hope you enjoy your stay here while the program lasts. Thank you very much. It skipped my mind. So we have also have the shop our merch program. Yeah, this is all about what we do at Techrity. So the shopping our merch, like we have product in Techrity where you buy product from us, like clothing products. But the essence here is you're not buying because you're trying to enrich us. Finance the other part of the mentorship, the laptops, the data support we render to all these other people. So you can always reach out to our website, right? Go online, store.techrity.org, check for products, buy, and please buy because you know that you are what? Pushing in your what? You are trying to support the ministry, right? So that we can also expand our what, tentacles to wider.
If Duff is entering your eye, his phone number is 123. Who wouldn't want a tech bro? If you understand. All right. So talking about this, let me kind of highlight this a little bit so that we can get the picture clearer. Duff believes in action, so I will do the talking this time around. Basically, what we are asking you to do is pay it forward. Now, like I mentioned earlier when we started, some persons are already paying this event forward. starting from last year up until this year. So the whole idea is that we want to keep this running absolutely for free. So we're not asking for anybody to give us any money. And at the same time, Techrity is trying to make sure that we are able to plug that gap between the knowledge, the in-demand skills, and the very scourge of what do we call it? The ignorance we have on the streets. Averagely, if you talk to 10 persons in Port Harcourt about technology, okay, let me even bring it down to us. How many of us use boats when coming here today? Okay, great. Or maybe you enter the vehicle and you try to stop at this place, and somebody asks you, maybe the driver or somebody in the vehicle. I don't know how many of us have had that experience. They ask you, what do they do here? How many of us have had that experience? Right? This morning, the boat guy that drove me in here, when he got in, very young person, he said, "Oga, what did they do here?" Now, this is not his first time of seeing this place. But I have had that question every single time a boat guy drives me here. And mostly they're young people. So many people do not even know what we do in here. How much more when you're talking to them? I have someone, my age mates, the same age, who told me earlier this year, around February, that there's no way the world will move to the point that everything will go online. I'm not telling you an older person, a younger person just about my age. He said he know they possible because he lives in the village and he believes that everything revolves around going to Mama Nkechi's place to buy whatever he wants. Little did he know, and he uses a smartphone. He bought 90,000 naira, but does not know what to do with the smartphone. I was just gisting, and he told me at point blank, he said, "No possible." Now, so what are we trying to drive out here? The only way we can sustain this job and this thing and this crusade we are doing is to call for a community of people who are passionate about what we are doing and how to drive good in technology. And how can you be a part of it? We're not asking you to donate money to us. We're asking you to buy one of these beautiful, very, very elegantly designed merch. And how do you buy it? For everyone here in this room, you get a 30% discount. So beyond here, it's going to be more than that. So what you can do is that if you're a techie, every single thing we are going to be selling at the match is very important to you. Now, you can get a hoodie, a very amazing and beautiful hoodie. They are not captured here that much. Okay, I think I see one there. So you can get a beautiful hoodie for any donation from 15,000 and above. Yeah, so that's already a 70% discount. It goes for 20,000, but if you have 15,000 and above donation, you are not donating to us, you're donating to give life to someone in tech. To give data for someone, you're donating to give laptop to someone. We did it last year. We gave 2 laptops here last year. We want to continue doing that. So when you give anything 15,000 and above, you get a hoodie. If you give 7,000 and above, you get an amazing t-shirt, just like this one. And then if you give a donation of 5,500, you are going to get this, what do we call it? This Blu-ray glasses. So that when you're looking at your phones, you're looking at your system, you're not getting all of the Blu-ray straight into your eyes. How many of us have woken up in the morning, early in the morning, maybe you were tired, you woke late in the night, got tired, slept off, woke up in the morning and there's a call, you pick up your phone and you're not seeing the screen very well. We take these things in every single day. And they're dangerous for us. But you can get just a donation to someone. You can get the glasses that can help you with all of this for just 5,500. If you have 4,500, we'll still give you the glass. Only that we're not sure say we'll give you the casing. Yeah, it's okay. But with it, of course, we have room for someone who has 1,500. You can go with the glass for now, the casing, and then next year you bring the remaining 4,500 and collect the glass. All right. So we want to make sure that everybody gets a bit of it. All right, so diving back into our business of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still on here and we're driving faster than before. Okay, good. I like this. All right, so I believe that we are doing the hashtags, and Duff has already explained to us, Caleb has already explained to us that this is coming to us courtesy of Techrity. So Techrity is doing all of this good, and then telling us that yes, we can also be part of the platform that is doing good. Oh, let me find like this. Okay, if I enter your eyes, see me after now. All right. So my name is Felix Ebuji. I'll be moderating the entire session. I am just a simple corporate MC, and I like to say a corporate MC in tech and other things. And of course, I'm also a digital skill trainer and a coach with Google Hustle Academy and other places that I still find my small osusu. So the agenda is very simple. We are trying to make sure that everything moves as smoothly and as quickly as we can. I know just how they used to go technology like this. Oh. Okay, so we have a very simple agenda. And so this is what is going to be our lesson today. We've already done the opening remarks. We're going to be taking our speakers. We've done introduction, and we're moving into the speaker sessions in a bit. But before we move into the speaker session, of course, you see the young man, the very fine tech bro. That some persons where they enter, some people where they don't just want to talk, but it's okay. We move. All right. So our vision is very simple: create equal access to opportunities in technology for Africans. Every single African. We are not restricted to just and of course, I don't know how many of us know that almost half of the white people are now Africans, Abby. Do you know that? The supposed or soon to be the Queen of England is 43% Nigerian. How many of us know that? Megan. Megan is 43% Nigerian. Go and check. Check this. So we are beginning to get them back. They are coming back. We are here. All right. So we are targeting everybody. And then the mission is very simple: helping new talents into technology, building technology solutions. So if you're a new talent here and you want to get into technology, you are at the right place. You're going to be meeting a lot of people there. I see one of my guy where they threaten me with his own glasses. God day. Him don't make money pass me, but God day. All right. So our core values: teamwork, community, and all the things you see there, and most importantly, paying it forward. What we're simply doing is making sure that we are leaving things that will help the next person to grow in tech, and the person does the same thing for the next person, and before we know, we have a community of people who are growing in tech. All right, so this is our main goal going forward. We want to be able to facilitate a minimum of 20 teams to build viable products. So we're looking inward. Look at your society. What is the solution that your society needs that tech can power? We are going to be building those teams that will build those solutions. And then support over 350 techies with internet browsing data. And of course, we are looking to, through our merch and other support platforms, there is a piece of paper going around. Please hold that piece of paper there so that you can threaten. You know, one of the joys I had in my life was during the what do you call the pandemic. I received a message from my bank that says, "Please donate to the money that wanting," and I donated. So right now, I beat my chest and I tell people that I'm one of those people who saved the entire Nigeria when pandemic hits. Right, you know the joy that comes with it. All right, so you could be part of this as well. So you can look at the next techie and say, yes, I was part of that. All right, so we're raising $100,000. All right, I think this should be upped. Then we launched 10 viable products for social good in Africa and, of course, the global market. And not forgetting the fact that we are serving as a pipeline to raise 500 young talents between the age of 13 and 18. And that doesn't mean that if you're above 18 years, you are not part of this. You can be 18 at heart or even 16 at heart. Like me now, I'm a young 16 and I know that. Don't argue with me. All right, so we're getting them into the tech space as well. I'm going to be skipping this part for a bit. Now, how can you get involved with us? Very simple. I'm just trying to see how we can get to move past this and get to the business of the day. You can choose to donate to us. If you can afford a laptop, please do. You can gift somebody a laptop. We did it last year. For those of us who were here last year, we are not bluffing about it. We gave laptop to people who have demonstrated the fact that they are passionate about tech and they want to get to tech, but they do not have the means. And you cannot succeed in tech without a laptop. True or yes? Yeah, so it can empower you, and that's what we want to do. We give it to them free of charge. So you can just go to our URL here, or just scan the piece of paper that was given to you. If you look around you, you will see some. This is we pasted on the wall, the codes the QR code we pasted there. Please, they're not fancy, they're not decoration. Just scan your phone over them, and you'll be able to get it. If you're asking how you can do that, download Google Lens. Scan it over it. Maybe it's something you can even try today and you'll be able to get it. Then you can also support with browsing data. It's simple, very cheap. browsing data for 1 month, for 3 months. So all you need to do is just say, okay, I'm gifting one person, I'm giving two people, five people, 10 people data that they can use for their studies for the next 3 months. Because the program we run is for 3 months. And then you can also apply to be a mentor. So you have something, you're a techie, you are somebody in business, you've grown, you have some information that can help the next person grow. You never can tell. We'll be needing you to do that with us. You can also promote our innovation. You can decide to either donate for any of this or sponsor a hackathon or even choose a project and say, I want to own this project and sponsor it. All right, so that's what we're looking at as we progress. So, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, can you confirm that our keynote speaker is ready? All right, so we have our speakers. We'll be having our keynote speakers. We're having some of our speakers come speak to us. Some of them will speak virtually, and others will speak physically here today. And we're very privileged to have these guys who are already leading the voices in terms of technology in the house to speak to us. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we are ready, we're going to be switching to the point where we get our keynote speaker ready to talk to us. Gentlemen. We will be taking our first speaker, Tosin Emmanuel. Please, sir, can we put our hands together for him as he makes his way up before we speak and tell us exactly who he is? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, standing with me is an amazing. Make I give you this one. You will need it. All right. So before he speaks, let me quickly tell you. Could you be? All right, and is transitioning to blockchain security. He has previously worked. Yeah, Tosin is also a final year student of electronics engineering at the University of Port Harcourt. Ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together for our own very Tosin Emmanuel as he leads us through this?
Okay, I think you can hear me. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Oh, what's the time now? It's afternoon already. So I was lied to actually. I was told I was going to speak by 10:30, and this is already afternoon. And co-founder of Blockchain Uniport. Actually an ethical hacker by, will I say, tech standards. And I'm also a final year student currently of electronics engineering department at University of Port Harcourt. I know some people will be confused, like, is it not electric? Blockchain Uniport is a community which was created after looking around and seeing that a lot of students with me actually, when I first got involved in crypto, I think I know I paid someone about over 200,000 to learn cryptocurrency, and that guy just went to Google. Taught me from the Nigerian aspect. I was able to kind of understand those foreign Google things that guy actually gave to me. So, blockchain reports is actually a community that is follow up with someone you can relate to. Because then I can give you, and guy might be telling you about how he's following the roller coaster, and you're like, "What? I've never entered that in my life." So you get a bit confused. As well, our vision actually for blockchain report is to help as many students understand and adopt blockchain technology in preparation for where the world is headed. Now, blockchain report is not limited. Most of the time, they just limit it to inviting a crypto exchange to come and host an event and give free merch, and you wear Binance shirt and you're walking up and down and you say you are in a community. We're not limiting blockchain report to just the aspect of crypto. So we are involving students who are interested in building on the blockchain, those who want to be developers, Web3 developers, who want to be data analysts, data scientists, cybersecurity analysts. One thing about cybersecurity is when you mention cybersecurity, most people think it's all hacking. There are like so many fields in cybersecurity, and I got to find out when I got into it. There is GRC, there are actually so many, I can't start mentioning them. But personally, I prefer to focus on ethical hacking because who doesn't like breaking in? And he asked how ethical am I with my hacking. I'll say for now, it's much easier actually for you to be will I say a bad hacker than for you to be a good one. To be a good one, you have to really maintain yourself and say, okay, let's just focus on this one because there's more money on the bad side. But I'm not advising you to go for the bad side. Okay. Okay, let's start with something simple. I don't basically like reading from this, so I'll just give you an explanation based on my own. I think this is just was just created for, well, I say for your viewing pleasure, but I prefer to speak. What's blockchain technology? Blockchain technology is more like a system, a technology of, will I say, the present and the future, whereby it's much harder to alter a record of any transaction or any form of ownership that's being recorded on the blockchain. So, in essence, like it says there, it's simply a digital ledger that stores transactional records that are further distributed and duplicated across various systems of the blockchain. If I was given the time to fully explain and talk about different blockchains and their consensus mechanisms and stuff like that, we won't leave this place because various blockchains have various ways they verify transactions and all that. So this is more like a base definition because how Bitcoin takes their record is different from how will I say BNB or Binance Chain actually take their record, or Algorand take their own record. Those are different blockchains with different consensus mechanisms. We have proof of ownership, proof of stake, proof of work. There are actually so many. I think about 6 or 7, and some actually come out of the rest. But like I said, I can't talk about all right now. Okay, how does blockchain technology work in essence? Um, you can actually look at the graphic while I just run through this. Blockchain is technology that enables the existence of cryptocurrency, among other things. Blockchain technology works with the aid of the following. Now, let's just look at this graphic first before we talk about. I hope I'm not blocking anyone. You can see from that end, right? Okay. Now, someone requests a transaction. In this case, it's not limited to just a cryptocurrency trade. This is any transaction made on the blockchain. And the requested transaction is broadcast to a P2P network consisting of computers known as nodes. The network of nodes validates transaction and the user status using known algorithms. Like I explained, there are various blockchains have different ways to verify these transactions. So we can't really go into that now because that's a whole topic on its own. A verified transaction can involve cryptocurrency, like I mentioned, contracts, records, and other information. Once verified, transaction is combined with other transactions to create a new block of data in the ledger. The new block is then added to the existing blockchain in a way that is permanent and unalterable. Transaction is then completed. How I like to explain the blockchain in essence and how it works is say someone makes a bank transfer now on his app, or I'm giving an example. Someone makes a bank transfer on his app. It's not limited to just the bank now saying, okay, we want to verify that this transaction was actually made. Every single person who has a verified node or computer on that blockchain network can actually verify that transaction. So, in essence, say he has a laptop here, he has a laptop here, they can both work as nodes on that particular blockchain. So, whereby when the transaction is created, these guys will actually have to confirm that, oh, this person is trying to make this transfer. He actually is the owner of this. He has this particular amount in his wallet or in his let's use the word wallet. So when he makes that transfer, the guys who run the computers or nodes in essence will now be the ones to verify it and say, okay, actually this is true. Before it now goes down to being verified and gets stored on the block. All the transactions are being stored on blocks, and when you add those blocks together, it becomes a chain. That's why it's called a blockchain in essence. That's like a basic definition for you. Blockchain technology works with the aid of about three major, will I say, elements. First of all, we have the cryptographic keys. The cryptographic key consists of two keys: the private key and the public key. These keys help in performing successful transactions between two parties. Um, if you've ever made a transaction in crypto, you would actually have heard of your wallet address per se. That's actually a key. But most of the time, the wallet address that you have to give out is mostly your public key actually that you send to someone and say, okay, this is my, will I say, address that you can send whatever cryptocurrency you want, and then eventually I'll receive it. Your private key is actually supposed to be secured. It's supposed to be with you because that's more like your access now to your account directly. Those are the public key you send out is what they use to, will I say, find you on the blockchain or whatever network you are. So your public key, your private key actually should be private to you. If you want to take an example, we can do a simple example now. You can just go on Twitter and just tweet, "I forgot my Trust Wallet password," and you see the amount of bots that will start texting you like, "Oh, we are from Trust Wallet support," and stuff like that. But that's all a scam because they're trying to get your private key. So when you go there and you DM them and say, okay, this is my address and all that, they start asking you for information. Give us your mnemonic codes, which is about 12 to 16 different words. Once you give that to them, they take hold of your account and you never hear from them again. Most of the time, it's people. Will I say? I don't want to target hackers or Yahoo boys per se, but that's the actual kind of job they do. They have bots that are waiting to just target individuals. So your private key has to be, like it says, private to you. Okay, the second part, we have a peer-to-peer network consisting of a shared ledger. Like I initially explained, these are nodes. So these are more like, will I say, nodes on that network, which have to confirm the transactions that are being created and are being executed on that particular blockchain or network. And third, we have a means of computing to store the transactions and records of the network. Now, means of computing, in essence, like I said, various blockchains have various consensus mechanisms. Some who use proof of stake. Their means of computing now would be those individuals who own a particular amount of that cryptocurrency on that block and are staking it, in essence. So that's how they verify, or that's how they, well, I say, they get their own records via the proof of stake mechanism. Then a proof of work, the way of means of computing then is just like Bitcoin, is that they verify by solving complex algorithms, and those algorithms are being solved by supercomputers. Actually, I get to see some people say they how will I put it now? They mine Bitcoin on their phone, and that's a very funny thing to see because unless you want your phone to blow up, you can actually not mine Bitcoin on your phone. You can't actually do it on your computer as well. Your computer is too small to mine Bitcoin. These are mined by supercomputers, which is why one of the proponents, or will I say those who are actually opposing the use of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, proof of work systems, always say that Bitcoin uses more energy than so many countries put together. It's all in this because having to run those particular supercomputers takes a whole lot of energy. I know El Salvador is talking about using volcanic energy based on they have a lot of volcanoes in that place to start so let's say supporting the energy they use to mine their Bitcoin. And then some other countries are also moving to using renewable energy like solar and stuff like that. Although that's still quite unsustainable right now. So anybody who tells you you should sign up to this thing that you can mine Bitcoin, I've been seeing one Satoshi BTC something. They are joking with you. Those things are just worthless. Okay. So to sum it up, blockchain users employ cryptographic keys to perform different types of digital interactions over the peer-to-peer network. Now, what is social impact? Social impact just means any significant or positive change that solves or at least addresses social injustice and challenges. So, in essence, we are trying to talk about how blockchain now can solve a particular social issue or a few social issues that we currently face. Okay, why ways blockchain technology can be used as a medium of social impact in Africa. Blockchain technology has been applied to many industries and is currently being developed as a tool for social impact. Experts think the technology can help solve Africa's most pressing problems, which are, let me use an example based on why we are here. Like I said, one of the reasons we have blockchain in the pot is so we can educate those in our own terms. Let me use the example we gave about the shirts, the merch that Techrity actually sells. Now, say Techrity has NFTs. They have their merch in the form of NFTs or just use NFTs in essence. They could actually now sell those NFTs for you to solve a particular issue. and whatever price they get from those NFTs is more like a donation you made that they can use to get a laptop for some persons and the rest. And each NFT now can have a kind of rarity. That okay, this NFT is quite rare, so it's much costlier than this. So in essence, whenever you buy that opportunity, I'm actually giving an idea now to Techrity. So you can just create NFTs, and one of the coolest ways. I had a meeting yesterday. I'm a co-founder. We had a meeting with some people who are actually planning on using NFTs in the healthcare space, and they're actually students like us. They are still students in Uniport, and they're trying to use NFT technology in the form of kind of insurance in the health sector. So these are actually ways that blockchain technology can be used to aid us in Africa. Actually, the aspect of the issue of corruption. Now, you agree with me that Nigeria is mostly corrupt, even though we have a president who said he wants to fight corruption. So, and actually starts with us. That's one funny thing. I have this statement I make that everyone shouts corruption when it doesn't favor them, and that's actually mostly true. I remember when I was in student union government in SCG in Uniport. I don't know if anybody recognized me for that, but I was actually an SCG rep in Uniport. And one of the times we had a particular, will I say, pressing social issue, and we were being told to toe another line. I'm not accusing anybody of anything now, but we're being told to toe another line. And I said, no, I can't toe that particular line with you. And they said, okay, so in essence, you're saying you don't want to be a part of us. And I said, yeah, I can't do this. And in essence, I lost my re-election. They told me categorically that I wasn't going to win. What happened was on election day, they took him off the ballot and just gave some kind of excuses. But in essence, what I'm trying to say is, I think at that day, I actually understood that I was not a politician. I'm an activist. Because a politician will most likely just look at it and close his eyes and just say, I didn't see it happen. But as an activist, I couldn't do that. It was more like, what's going on here? I can't sit and watch this. So corruption now, especially we are hearing that they want to print new currencies and stuff like that. We don't know if they want to put more money in the system or take more money out of the system. But in a case whereby everything is being recorded on the blockchain, as we saw previously, blockchains license transactions cannot be altered. So whatever is there remains there. If as Bitcoin has 21 million BTC coins, you can't actually print more than that. You can't actually mine more than that. So 21 million is 21 million of the BTC we have currently. That's the total supply. And in essence, you can't actually have more BTC. Everyone will just have to walk around that 21 million because Bitcoin aims to be a means of transaction. So people can actually buy and sell. Now, in essence, when you're working with paper currency, a country can just decide to print currency, wake up tomorrow and say they are printing. America did that during the COVID issues. They started printing more currencies. And now you can see the amount of inflation they have there. They're printing a lot of currencies, putting more money into the system, thereby destabilizing their economy. I think one funny thing, I was having a discussion with someone, one funny thing is um, people don't actually know that America are actually the highest debtors in the world. They owe the highest. It's quite shocking and funny to believe, but they owe the highest. They actually lend money out, but they also owe the highest, which is very funny. Corruption now can actually be avoided when we have a blockchain-based system, whereby the entire transaction process can be completed quickly and records will be immutable. What that necessarily means is that the records can't be altered. So whatever happens on the blockchain stays on the blockchain. It's there. You can see it. You can verify that this particular currency went to this account and stuff like that. And I think one thing now most people are having issues with when it comes to blockchain and crypto tech is that they're like, I thought they said crypto was anonymous. So how come a hacker hacked a wallet address or something and they were able to trace the money back to the hacker? Now, one very funny thing is if you actually have your cryptocurrency on a cold storage wallet or on a personal wallet where you own the private keys and all that, you can't actually be hacked. You can't actually be tracked. Sorry, but you can't be tracked. The only thing is they would actually see the address. Like I said, transactions are open, so they can see the address that received that particular currency, but they can't actually know who is behind it. Where the problem comes and where those people get caught is that they end up sending that cryptocurrency now to a centralized exchange like Binance, OKX, BitGet, all those kind of companies. And when you send it over there, of course, you did KYC. You registered your name, you put your driver's license, your NIN and stuff like that. So automatically they can trace it down to you and say you're the one who did that. But if you're able to do a transaction off centralized exchanges, then it's much easier for you to do. I'm not advising you how to circumnavigate this, But then again, there are ways on how to circumnavigate this. It's very, very funny. It's a very simple thing. There are cryptocurrencies that do not that actually switch the transaction records, like Dash, like Zcash, like Monero XMR, which is my favorite currency for that kind of business. So if you actually wash money or you want to wash money one way, when you use Monero, you can if you send the money to a Monero wallet deflects it. It sends it to like 7 or 8 different wallet addresses. So someone becomes very confused as to where that money went to. So if you can send that money to like 3 or 4 different Monero wallets before they will catch you, you have already spent the money. I'm not giving you an advice. I'm just telling you how these things work. Okay, identity theft. Governments in Africa are adopting digital systems and blockchain to tackle document and identity fraud. Example, PVCs we have and we use to vote. Who's to say they can't just print more PVCs and put whatever images they want there? At the end of the day, if we have a system whereby everything is recorded on the blockchain and we actually know how many persons we are in Nigeria, how many persons use the PVC and all sign up for PVC, we can actually know that okay, these guys are legit persons, and there will be no way to do fraud in that aspect. Trust and transparency issues. Blockchain promotes transparency and trust, with participants being able to have relatively unfettered access to their records, cutting time and effort made on endless towing and froing. In essence, say, like I said, blockchain technology is not limited to just cryptocurrency. We have an aspect whereby we can actually now store our financial records, our proof of ownerships to actual physical lands. I know some projects who actually do that. They store your records that, oh yeah, I own this document, I own this land, I own document that shows that I own this land. You can actually make it as an NFT and put it on the blockchain. Whereby whenever I know we usually watch these Nigerian movies where someone will come to your house and come and steal your land document so they can go and sell your land. Now we can actually avoid those kind of cases where everything is on the blockchain. So when someone steals it and wants to prove that, oh, I'm the owner of this, you can just give them a barcode to scan. And once they open there, they see that, oh, this guy is actually the owner of this physical property. Okay. Yeah, the blockchain is the financial challenge of our time. It's going to change the way that our financial world operates. In conclusion, in Africa, blockchain technology can be used as an open ledger for recording transactions between companies and citizens with transparency and accountability built in. In fact, blockchain could provide African businesses with a higher level of trust, something that has been difficult to achieve in some places. Blockchain is still at a relatively early stage in its development, but it has enormous potential for Africa's economy, commodities, and connectivity. It can empower Africans with financial control over their own wealth, and which is why most countries and industries are trying to fight the blockchain technology, because they see that it's an aspect for you to actually take charge and own whatever you have. Like I said, you have the opportunity of the of owning whatever currency is now yours. The bank no longer has to decide what happens to your money. So you end up owning that. But one side effect of that is if you own that, like I said, keep your private key private. There's a reason why it's private. Because once you leak it out, it's easy for someone to just take over your details. Okay. Thank you very much. These are my contacts, actually, if you would like to find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, and my email address. I don't use Instagram. I find that app very boring. So I use Twitter, LinkedIn, and you can send me a mail. One funny thing, actually, I don't like giving my phone number out, but I remember one event I went to speak at, and there was this girl who sent me a love message to my Gmail, which was very funny. I'm like, wow, they are tracking people with Gmail these days. So please don't send that to me. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh. Because of Tech for Good, I'm putting back his details. So if you need to send love text message, send. My guy get money. He's a tech bro. There's money. Bros, you don't get any 10 BTC where you know they use. Uh-huh. All right, please celebrate him once again. Yeah, so you heard it. It is not a choice. It is not a choice before you. But please don't make that choice yet. There are still amazing, amazing other speakers just like him that are still going to come up to speak to us. I've had a situation whereby I was speaking at an event, and then this guy was like, bros, I was talking about digital marketing, and it was like, bros, digital marketing is the only thing I want to do with my life. In fact, I was born to do digital marketing. A carry for hair, I said, bros, talk so many things. And then I was re-invited to the same event the following year to speak. And this time around, the topic they gave me was on data science. So I spoke about data and all that, data analysis and everything. And this same guy came up and said, Oga, now I have found my calling. It is data analysis. Yeah, so please still calm down. We're going to see have other amazing speakers because I know that some persons will be like, cryptocurrency, now here we die. So that at the end of the day, if we finish, you can listen to other people. You can now make a choice whether you want to stay in tech or you want to join Wiki Band. It's up to you. All right, so now, and some of you might think that Wiki Band is the Wiki Band, not even just the money. By after 2023 now, anybody will did that band, no na go they carry all the burial, all the child education. Like you guys will be hitting it back to back. All right, so that's just on a lighter note. Please, any other hand? Oh, okay. Seems we are going to be doing boys to men today. All right, so please, the ladies will need you to participate. So we'll take the first two. So for other questions, please, we need everybody to participate. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Um, so there's this app we're developing. It's a cryptocurrency trading platform, and we're using a crypto API to do it. So they give us a private key and a public key. So I heard you mentioning that we should never give our private key. So, like, can the developer still do what he's supposed to do with just the public key, or does he need the private key to finish up the app?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. Actually, like you previously said, I work at NigeriaBitcoinCommunity.com, which is a blog that teaches about crypto and stuff like that. So this what you're asking now is quite funny because we're actually working on an exchange as well before I left. Um, Now, the reason why you have been given that private and public key is because you're using an API. That means you're not providing the liquidity by yourself. They're providing liquidity for you. So, in essence, they need to have that to provide it on the line, like from the like. I'm sure you guys signed an non-disclosure agreement, an NDA. So, I feel, of course, they can either run away with your money and do whatever, but having that NDA is, will I say, necessary so they know that okay, we have this agreement that we can't tell people that we are with these guys' private key. So you should be working with a company which is secure and stuff like that. I know Binance provides API, but they have like the costly OKX provide API as well. Because I know we're supposed to use Binance, but the price was almost like 90 million every year or something for it to renew it in terms of providing liquidity. So yeah, it actually depends on, like I said, who you are working with, because they actually need that to provide liquidity unless you have the millions and billions by yourself. So I hope I've answered your question. Yeah. Next person.
All right, so we'll take the next questions real quick before we go back.
All right, thank you. Um, mine is actually not really a question per se. It's just about what you guys are doing. Blockchain Uniport. Actually, I happen to also graduated from Uniport. Actually, I'm a PhD holder in physics in Uniport. So my question is like this: it's about blockchain Uniport. Actually, I love what you guys are doing, and at the same time, actually, I didn't see you guys. When you were trying to talk about the profile of your company, I didn't see your. I think probably your roadmap, kind of, because I don't know maybe if you are, maybe if your company is open to collaboration, or maybe probably open to partnership, donation. Trying to maybe put your company out there to the world. So I was thinking maybe if maybe in the maybe later on you can share us more info about the blockchain report. Thank you.
Okay, let me quickly rush over that. I didn't come here to talk about blockchain report. I just introduced it as what I'm a part of per se, which is why I just focus on the mission and vision statement of what we are trying to achieve. When giving the proper pitch per se on blockchain report, then those details will actually be there. I didn't come here to advertise blockchain. But of course, it's a community. It's a community, which, like I said, I'm currently a final year student at Uniport. By January, I should be leaving school, hopefully by January, because I posted someone's picture yesterday. My friend in UST that left, and I just graduated yesterday, and I'm like, Amarachi was in 200 level when I was on IT 400 level. So how has she graduated and I'm still here? So we are actually building something, a community, much like how you have clubs in school, like ISEC, ILC. I don't know if there's any ISEC are here. ISEC, ILC, and stuff like that. Various organizations, Road Tracks, which I'm also a part of. I'm part of various organizations actually. I am also a blood donor based on the, but I donate blood to sickle cell patients for free every 4 months. So that's another way I give back to society as well too. So we, like I said, for blockchain import, we can actually have investors, sponsors, partnerships, like how we are partnered with Techrity on this event. It's all about the aim of growing the adoption of technology, blockchain technology, and all like that. So that's just it. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, brother. Please celebrate him as he makes his way back to his seat. Quite frankly, you are not alone, brother. I remember a particular time some years back when we did ONASO strike. It took about 6 months. And by the time I got back to my house in school, I realized that my door was open. And the way they stole things in my house wasn't like they came and stole the things and left. They stole it in such a way that if they need spoon, they'll be like, "What eat? How many will they for? How many spoon they here? Two. I know where we can get spoon." They go to my house and get spoon. So they stole even my what do you call it? The soap I was using, the one I was already bathing with. And then my carpet, they took, there was two. So they took one part. Like that's what they needed for that moment. So they will have to go back when they need the other one, they will have to go back and get it. All right, so brother, I understand, but January you're definitely leaving. I didn't quite understand how the impact of ASU really has been until I think it was London. I walked into a particular school where I was leading a training in University of East London, and then one crazy guy just asked me, he did whether he was doing a Google search on me when they read my profile, some guy from Nigeria. So he's like trying to do some Google search and he saw ASU strike. So that was when he was ready. So the guy was like, sir, what's ASU strike? And in order to explain to him, I didn't know, it was embarrassing. The question, I wasn't expecting that question. So I was like, okay. Actually, ASU strike is an annual event we have in Nigeria. So, because I didn't know how to explain it. How do you tell them with everything that we literally students just go home and then they don't do anything for 8 months? I mean, it's sad, but the good part of the story is that students are beginning to create something really, really great and amazing from what would have ordinarily seemed like a very bad situation. And that's why we are very grateful to the likes of Emmanuel. Please celebrate Emmanuel once again. Thank you so much for what you're doing with the blockchain Uniport. All right, so again, you will understand and appreciate what we do. This is what we have had in the long run in Techrity, starting from Tech for Good 1.0. We succeeded in giving 3 laptops so far, absolutely free of charge, to people who truly, truly do deserve it. We are not like some people who would keep palliative. All right, so we've been providing browsing data, 3 months stretch of browsing data, thanks to those who donated last year. And we've been able to cover 30 people monthly for consistent time that they're on the program. We've provided mentorship and support to 100 techies, and we are poised to do more. So you know that we are serious with what we're doing. We've been able to fund a track in the last Code Fest that happened in Bonny, the Code Fest hackathon in Bonny. Techrity sponsored a full track there. So you know what that is if you have ever been to a hackathon. And then there's a growing community which you can join. Over 400 tech enthusiasts are currently captured in our Slack community as we speak, and that community is continually growing. So you're very welcome to join us there. All right, so Again, we are going to be going straight into having some of our partners that have been making this dream a reality come speak to us. But before that, I think there was something really valid I took from Emmanuel's speech. He made a recommendation that Techrity should look into probably creating NFTs to, sell into this. That's a very viable one. But I don't know how that one is going to affect me particularly. Please, if there's anybody here who has an idea on how to create an app that can help pamper people, please, we need it because my life need pampering. Maybe an app where you can just book to be pampered and there's somebody who is willing to pamper you. I don't know. But I know that a lot of Nigerians need pampering because the way the country is actually going, trust me, we may actually by December have like 5 families come together and contribute money to cook this Christmas rice. I mean, so one family will cook rice, the other family will cook stew, the other ones will kill anything they catch. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. At this time, we'd like to invite Accelerate Hub. Do we have them? Please put your hands together for Accelerate Hub as they come forward to just speak to us on what their story has been. So they'll be able to tell us the story of Accelerate Hub. Keep clapping for them. Are they here? I thought I saw someone from Accelerate Hub. Oh, they're not here yet? Do we need? Oh, okay. I thought we would need to send Team Arif to go and clear the road. All right. So Techniville's, please could you step up? Put your hands together for Techniville as they come up. Technoville, rather. Someone from Technoville to please tell us the story of Technoville so we understand and appreciate what the story has been. Technoville. I'm very sure I saw someone from Technoville earlier today. You know, do again. Don't go join Wiki Band. Oh, okay. So while we're still getting them ready, I know that our panelists are already seated, and in a bit we'll be having them. Please, can we have the web stacker? Technoview, right? Oh, please step forward. Celebrate them as they make their way to tell us the story of Technoview in their own words. Thank you so much, Technoview.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, good afternoon. Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sure that in this room we have really, really active people. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. My name is Bensto Destiny, and I am the Chief Operations Manager at Technoville, Nigeria in Bonny Island. We are so excited to be here this morning. Thank you so much to the Techrity team for this platform and this opportunity to share our story. Sorry, let me just something. All right. I'll start this way. Wakanda forever. All right. So there is this fictional Black Panther country, right? And existing in this fictional Black Panther country is this special mineral called vibranium. This mineral drastically transforms the future and prosperity of the Wakandan people, exposing them to the fruits of technology, a technological driven society. We believe in this future. In 2018, we started this journey as Vibraniumville with the aim of building a technological ecosystem in Bonny Island. You see, this island is located at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, home to over 300,000 people. This is twice the population of Monaco and the Seychelles. We have a resource that technology needs to thrive, and that is 24/7 electricity and a young, innovative, and dynamic population. With all the tech bubbles happening in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ibadan, Calabar, our community is left in the dark because of where we are located
on the map, leaving many young people who are curious and are engaging in technology in the dark without collaboration, innovation, and technology. The truth about it is that without collaboration, technology can never develop. And so in 2018, we had this burden as a company, as a group of young people, to bring together an opportunity where young people on the island, in Bonny Island, will be able to find a space where they can express themselves, they can connect, they can collaborate, and they can create. And that gave birth to our maiden program in 2018 called Innovate Bonny Conference. Can we put our hands together for that? So in 2018, we started up together with the Innovate Bonny Conference. It was a program where young people will become exposed to the beauty of technology. We brought in amazing speakers all the way from Port Harcourt and Lagos to our remote island to discuss and share their ideas with the young people on the island. We hosted that program with over 100 people in attendance in 2018. Forward to sometime in 2019, when we were registering the company, we decided to change the name due to certain conditions, and it was called Technoville. And in the heart of Technoville, we believe that in each and every one of us is this special mineral called vibranium. And it has the characteristics of doing what? Evolving and changing each of us to become a technocrat and a tech giant. We believe in igniting curiosity at Technoville in Bonny Island. We believe in igniting curiosity, and this has spurred us to annually host over 10 different tech programs. As the lead from Techrity had already pointed out, in Bonny Island, we have one of the programs called Code Fest. It happens, I think, sometime in October annually, where we get young techies together to brainstorm solutions, local solutions, solutions that are geared towards solving immediate problems in our community. The first edition of Code Fest, we had teams working on solutions towards the sea piracy problem we have in Bonny Island. Because of where Bonny is located, for you to access it, you have to go through the boat. And so we always suffer from sea pirates and weather conditions and capsizing of boats and that. So we had young people think about solutions geared towards solving that problem. Then in the second edition of Code Fest, we had young people building language-based solution, because on the island, the native language of the people is called Ibani, and unfortunately, that language is going extinct. And so we are hoping that the young techies will be able to build solutions that would help recover and maintain and sustain the language of the people on the island. And yes, did they build it? Yes, they did. Let's put our hands together for that. All right, annually we also have a program called Evolve. Evolve is a program where we gather young people together and expose them to tech for the first time. So most times we are looking at young people from secondary schools, young adults at the Federal Polytechnic of Oil and Gas in Bonny Island, and so on. So we're exposing them to the beauties of technology. We also have Kids Can Code, a program where we teach young people in primary school about technology, coding, beginning that coding journey for them. Because on the island, we have a lot of young people who are yet to grasp and enter into technology as it should be, especially in our generation. In 2019, we also had a hackathon that we partnered with Major League Hacking to 2019, late 2019, I think in December, we had the Major League Hacking that we tagged Hackfest. And so we've been doing a lot of things, and based on impact, we have been able to touch over 2,000 lives, young people, programs, projects, and products. At the moment, we have a team of young people working on different projects. One of them is called Larry. It's a product in the works. We also have other projects that young people are coming together to work. We partner with different, tech and innovation centers in and out area to bring those tech resources to the island to help our young growing population to engage with technology. Finally, we have what we call the Aeroboit Bootcamp. It's a hardware embedded system based program that we put together to get kids engaged with robotics, embedded systems, IoT, and AI. So, this is just a few things that we are doing in Bonny to get people engaged in technology. Thank you very much.
All right, now if you want to clap for them, please clap for them. It may seem very simple when they highlighted all of this, but trust me, it takes a lot of resources, financial, material, and commitment, especially. And for every 1 year these guys may have gotten, there may have been a tirade of no's that has followed it. But the resilience is what they have been able to tell us the story here today. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to bring up to join us and tell us their own story, what they're doing, how they have gotten their hands dirty, and what it is for us and everyone else. Please, can we put our hands together once again for Accelerate Hub? Accelerate Hub, please celebrate her once again. She's coming up. Wonderful. Keep celebrating her until she gets here. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ayoze Favor, and I just need to catch my breath for a second because I just got here. Yeah. So, Accelerate Innovation Hub is okay. First of all, I'm a student of River State University, 300 level student of Library and Information Science. So, Accelerate Innovation Hub is a tech community based in the school ecosystem. So, their aim is to give students a leverage to be able to start to build a career in the tech space before they leave the school system. Because we know in Nigeria it's difficult to get a job. So they're just their major aim is just to try to give them a platform to start a career before they leave the school ecosystem, so that they do not go out into the labor market and then they are struggling to find jobs. And knowing fully well that there's the tech space is a thriving one. It's thriving in Africa. So, and a lot of people do not even know about it, which is why they are in the school ecosystem. It's easier to reach people from that level. And then again, because Accelerate Innovation Hub is um, they are in support of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Um, One of the goals is gender equality, and because of that, normally Accelerate Hub is for both male and female, but because of the SDGs, they came up with a different platform for the female students or for the female members, which is WITA, Women in Tech Accelerate, which I happen to lead. So they're doing it. It's relatively new, but they're doing good things. And Accelerate has built a number of products as well. So one of their projects is Real Spaces. So what is Real Spaces? It's a virtual world. It's a virtual world, and the idea of it is for education and collaboration. So in Real Spaces would encompass a virtual museum, a virtual zoo, and a virtual medical laboratory. So basically, it's tourism, education, learning, and collaboration. So it's a very new project, but it's doing well. It's I wouldn't say successful, but it's doing well. So that's that about Accelerate Hub. Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been waiting to hear another amazing um, speaker, now is that time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking the next speaker who is going to tell us a bit about something we already know, but in a different language. Okay. So if you are ready, I would like to, with your permission, invite one of our speakers. She's been here patiently listening, of course, preparing for that amazing speech she's about to give. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, can we put them together as we make welcome our own very Franca Umasoye Igwe, who is going to be speaking to us on how tech is revolutionizing the indigenous language for Africans, and of course, in extension to every other tribe and every other people. Unfortunately, I do not think I have the right informations about Franca, but I think you should listen better and you probably get the information better. So, Franca, it's your time. Celebrate her once again.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I'm here to. My name is Omasoye. I prefer to be called Omasoye. Um, Before I talk about how tech is revolutionizing indigenous languages in Africa, I would like to tell us a little bit of how I transitioned into tech and the language industry. So I would say me being here was made possible through the pandemic. 2020 we had lockdown, and before this time, in my school community in the ethnic house where I was one of the leaders, I encountered some students, young people like you and I, who could not interact with me in my local language. Please, how many persons can have a conversation here in their languages? Okay, just few. I think it's about 3% of us. So this is a challenge I saw on campus. So while I was trying to have a conversation with a first year student in school, I noticed that she wasn't even able to understand what I was saying in the first place. So I saw it as a challenge, and I spoke to some persons in my ethnic house also who were more fluent, because at that time my own Ekwe was still rusty. I'm the type that I would speak a few lines and cover it up with English. So while we are making plans to have a picnic, a language gathering, we have people come together and we have this exchange, the lockdown happened. So when we had the lockdown, I was at home one day and I thought, okay, why not let's have this interaction online where I would talk to a few native speakers who are more fluent and would have language conversations and language lessons. And yeah, we started out on a WhatsApp group. So from then, that was how I started, advocating for my language online. We formed an NGO around it, and since then, I've been looking for ways on which I can make this language appealing to young persons, because an average youth thinks that his or her language is old fashioned, sorry to say. So today I'm going to tell you how tech is helping to revolutionize our indigenous language all over Africa. It's not working. Yeah, I need to go back to the first slide. The first. No, this is mine. This is mine. This is mine. Yes. Yes. Introduction. Introduction. Yeah. So, according to UNESCO, we have over 7,000 languages spoken. Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay. Of these 7,000 languages are being spoken by half of the world's population. Now, how is that? This means that languages like English, Spanish, Chinese, and all of these major languages are the ones which we use on a day to day basis, leaving the other languages, which are our indigenous languages, behind. Now, a negative effect of this is that these languages are now going extinct because of disuse. You don't use them, so how do you become fluent in them? Okay, it keeps speaking so fast, so I think I would have to go without this. And in Africa, over 300 of these languages are going extinct. We have an example like Ibani, who is from Opopo here. The Ibani language is spoken in Rivers State, and it's one of those languages which is going extinct according to the United Nations. And we have the most popular languages like the Hausa, Yoruba, we have Somali, we have Swahili, and also Amharic. And of course, our Pidgin English, which is one of the most popular languages in Africa. Now, what is the language situation in Africa? Like the story I said earlier, the girl I had interaction with. Okay, okay. Going forward. Okay. Now, what's the language situation in Africa? Youths and children are not really fluent in speaking their mother tongue, if you agree with me. I just asked here how many persons are fluent in their language, and just a few persons indicated. Now, that's the language situation we are having in Africa today. We can't communicate to older people as young persons using our mother tongue, which is why the languages are also going extinct. Due to modernization in our rapidly changing society, language loss has become inevitable, and this is being influenced by several factors, such as migration. So, when people move from one place to another, it affects the language of the people in that environment. Take, for example, we have lots of Igbos amongst us. And if you stay with the Igbos, you would get to see that you try to learn their language because these people are always speaking it, they're always putting it in front of you, even the outsiders. Now, if these people move to a small community where we have just few language speakers, I was at a community in Oyibo local government area, Undoki, and the language of these people originally was not Igbo, but I was shocked to see that half of the population in that community were speaking Igbo. Now, this is because of migration. We have lots of Igbos moving into that community, and it affected the language of this community. Now, it is estimated that one language is lost every 2 weeks. In every 2 weeks, we lose one language. Last week, I was having a conversation with a friend who did linguistics, and he told me about a language known as the Taushuo language spoken in the Amazon. Today, we only have one speaker of that language all over the world, just one man. So he was interviewed by New York Times, and I think part of his language was documented so that the language doesn't go extinct totally. Uh-oh. of the language, language learners, and also parents. No effort on the part of parents. This is very true. In my house, most of the time, my father speaks to us in English. So if maybe I and my siblings didn't travel home most of the times, how would I learn the language properly? I think the person who made the most effort in teaching me my language is my mom because she spoke it a lot of the time at home. So now a child goes to school, the child speaks English at school, and you also come back home and you still speak English. So how then do you think you can learn this language? It's not possible. So the language becomes is put into disuse, it's not being used, and it goes extinct gradually. Thirdly, we have few or no native speakers left in speaking the language. I gave an example of a language spoken in the Amazon, which has just one person. So if this language is to be revitalized or documented through tech, how many persons would want to learn it? Because one, is not their language, it's not part of their identity. So why would they have interest to learn that language? So when you have few persons speaking a language, it actually makes that language at risk of going into extinction. And finally, we have when there is language shifts in a community. I gave an example about migration. So when people who speak languages like Hausa, Igbo, this language have lots of speakers. So when they dominate a community, you tend to see that there becomes a language shift in the original language of the people living in that environment because the dominant language begins to make way and more people now tilt to the side of the most dominant language. We have another reason being because it is not economically and culturally beneficial, to speak indigenous language, but it is economically and culturally more beneficial to speak English. Truth, somebody told me this when I started advocating for my language online. Somebody told me that who help, which is actually true. So I told her that aside what you stand to gain from your language, you're helping to preserve it, you're making it sustainable. And the funny thing is, if you learn a language, you tend to know more about the people who speak the language. You tend to know more about their culture, their beliefs, and I can tell you that the United Nations are trying to include indigenous people in trying to make sustainable goals. Why? Because these people have solutions that are indigenous to them, like trying to tackle climate change. I was reading a post on LinkedIn some weeks back, and I saw someone talking on behalf of indigenous people in an African country. I can't remember the name. So these people actually have a way which they do things, and this knowledge can actually be tapped from them to solve other problems. Now, how do you tap this knowledge if the language is not sustainable or you don't know the language of the people? And the last factor is natural causes. We are having flood issues in some parts of River State. So if the flood persists and nobody is found in that community, see, people start relocating and it leads to displacement of persons. And if people are displaced, they tend to adapt to their new environment, which includes also speaking the language of the people in that environment. Now, how can we use tech to help revolutionize our languages, to help sustain these languages? Tech enables communication for everyone across indigenous speakers and people in the city. Yes, you can communicate with someone who is out of the country using your mobile phones. Now, this is also applicable for languages. You're in the city, you can also communicate with native speakers or learn using your tech devices. Now, tech can revolutionize languages through documentation. We have open source platforms like Wikitongues, Wikicommons, where you can actually document a language which is going extinct. How do you do this? We have language activists in different parts of the world who are trying to document some of these languages. So they go to communities with endangered languages, record native speakers, and upload it on these open source platforms. Like Wikitongue is actually running a project for endangered languages all over the world. So if they look at the rate of endangerment of a language, they can decide to go into a community, go with their devices, record the people, make videos, record proverbs, and every other thing that can ensure that that language is being transmitted to the next generation. We can also use game-like features. Who have used Duolingo here? Yeah, you're aware about Duolingo. So we can use apps like this to actually learn a language. We have lots of them. We have Memrise, we have Duolingo, we have Geni games also. So apps like this can actually help users to learn a language. Also, we have making translations open source. We know of this Google feature, Google Translate, right? So you can actually come across a content written in a different language, let's say Spanish. And with this feature on the web, you can actually translate documents or whatever article you find online to English. Now, if we have translations in our various language on these platforms, don't you think these languages will be preserved through open source translations? Also, technology provides means to create language awareness. So I wouldn't have actually known about the language with just one speaker if not for platforms like social media or YouTube. So one thing tech does for us is that giving us this platform. Social media is a very useful tool to spread awareness about a language. I teach my language online, and through teaching this language, I've actually been able to learn more from other people also, and also to try to create more solutions that will help people learn the language easily. So when I started out in 2020, I started creating content on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter through that platform. Maybe on Mondays I can teach you little vocabs in the language. And at some point I started seeing that youths who were actually the ones telling me that who Ekpeye help were actually coming to these platforms to actually relate to these contents. Why? Because I used Canva to make relatable designs which has good interface, and people started connecting to this and really started showing interest to want to learn that language. So this is actually a good social media is actually a good platform that can be used in creating awareness about a language and also uploading content. You can also use your website to create content in a given language, different kind of content in audio, videos, and text. Now the solutions to language loss. I've mentioned YouTube, social media, open source platforms like Wikicommons or Wikitongues, natural language processing. Now, this natural language processing uses linguistics, artificial intelligence, and computer programming to teach a computer the language of a given people. So, can you imagine a situation whereby an adult, maybe who is not tech savvy, speaks to his mobile phone or device in his language and the computer is able to understand? Now, this kind of solution can actually help age people who are not really tech savvy to navigate their way through the digital spaces. Then we have virtual reality language program, but this is quite expensive. Then we have content translations like Google Translate. Then we have apps. Now this brings us to Afrilingo. This Afrilingo is actually a language gaming app that won us a prize during the ICTs for Indigenous Language Hackathon. So what we are trying to do with Afrilingo is to create a platform whereby Gen Zs and young persons in Africa can actually learn their language while having fun with it. So imagine a scenario whereby you're playing games and also learning your language. So this is what we are trying to do with Afrilingo to solve the problem of language loss in Africa. Tech can connect indigenous language speakers, learners, and help Gen Zs become more relatable with learning languages. In conclusion, several people have lost reach to their indigenous language because of the lack of zeal or their inability to see the value of language learning in the long term. And tech has also helped and is helping with language sustainability as it helps to preserve, revolutionize indigenous languages, making it more accessible and easier to learn. Now, aside the language apathy or aside your non-interest in learning a language, what if you're now interested in learning and you can't find resources to learn your language? Now, tech has actually bridged that gap. So if more content are being uploaded on the internet, you can actually learn any language of your choice using these platforms. So I would like to say tech has actually provided more solutions to tackle language loss, which is tech for good, and it's in the long run it would help for language sustainability and also for achieving other sustainable development goals. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, can we celebrate her better? All right. So, because of time, I'm not going to allow anybody to bombard her with questions. Please celebrate her as she makes her way to the seat. We're going to compile questions because we want you get why. You won't understand the importance of language until one day your life will now depends on it. My first experience outside Nigeria, we had traveled and we decided to take this road tour from Abuja to Cote d'Ivoire. We decided to drive. So we just bumped into some small money then. We were students. And so we decided the holiday, that's what we're going to do. We drove anywhere we get to, we park, and then until we drove to Togo. And we got in at night, got there, and we just realized that none of us understands French. And I didn't take it serious because why I'm sharing this story is because we had a French class in my school, and I was one of the silent advocate against French. So we got there, and none of us knows how to speak French. And ladies and gentlemen, we are hungry at the time we arrived. So we managed to find this guy who understands a bit of English, who now agreed to translate for us. And we didn't, all the money we had was Nigerian naira. We didn't have any other currency. And the hotel refused to take that. So we pleaded with this guy, and he told the hotel that they can hold our passports, and then by morning we'll go and change the money we had on us and then pay them in Cephas. So we all agreed, handed the passport, and by morning we agreed by 6 a.m. this guy will be there. By 6 a.m. we didn't see this guy, and we were hungry from the previous day. 7 a.m. we didn't see this guy. 8 a.m. there was no way to find this guy. And that's where you now realize that ACs don't work against anybody that's hungry. We're sweating under the AC. And we didn't know what to tell anybody. Sign languages failed us until this guy showed up around 9. We're like, guy, how far now? Waiting happen? Why did you? This guy pretended he doesn't even understand English again. And we're begging this guy because we can't travel out of Togo without our passport. At the same time, we can't find anywhere to go and get food. We don't even know where the Bureau de change is. We don't even know how to explain what we're doing. We're not even anywhere near the border. Until this guy now broke the news that he was deliberately punishing us. What was our crime? One of us toasted his girlfriend. We're like, huh? How? We have someone amongst us who understands French and can toast a girl but does not know how to get us out of this situation. Ooh! Then I pointed one of my friends. Not a guy, have a Because we know the girl doesn't understand English. How it did do am? And that was when it turned out that this guy understands sign language for toasting a girl, but doesn't understand sign language to find us food. And so, being a sharp guy, he did his thing. And so that was how every one of us paid the price. We pleaded with this guy. Finally, we got rescued. But the truth of the matter is that day I swore I was not only going to learn my own language, I was going to learn the language of everybody around me, including French. Well, fast forward to today. Did I succeed? No. Lazy guy. All right, so but the truth is, your language will come in handy. You never can tell. For the first time in my life, in my traveling experience, I had to jump out of the, like, on my seat in a plane and hug somebody because I've been away for a long time and I just heard somebody speaking my language inside the plane. Was just calling the wife over the phone and was speaking my language. I just turned, our eye jam. We didn't even bother. We jumped inside the plane and we hugged ourselves and we were momentarily terrorists for a few seconds and then we went back. But the truth is, your language comes in handy, whether within or not. And I can imagine the kind of celebrity that guy who speaks, only him speaks that language. Can imagine the kind of celebrity that guy will be right now. Like that guy will be serious celebrity. Endangered species. You don't joke with him. All right, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together once again for that beautiful presentation. And of course, the good thing is that we can now use technology to learn any of these languages without even having to visit our village, just in case you are very scared of village people. All right. So at this time, I'd like to welcome the web stackers. Please put your hands together for web stackers as they step forward to just speak to us. While that is ongoing, Heligate, please get ready to just share some few stories with us, and then we'll move on to our next speaker who has been patiently seated. Don't, I'm keeping the best, or rather, the juicier for the later. Please put your hands together once again for the web stackers.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really happy to be here. I represent Web Stacker Group. My name is Bright Anaba, and even though I'm an Igbo boy, I have to go and learn my Igbo very well based on the last speaker, so that I don't get into the trouble that our MC has gotten into. Okay, so quickly, I'm not going to spend so much time. I just want to tell us what WebStacker is, and then what we intend to do for in terms of partnership for Tech for Good. We stumbled into the event over the internet, and my boss was like, try and see what. Meanwhile, I'm a digital marketer for WebStacker, so he was like, find out what these guys are doing, and then see how we can be, we can collaborate with them or partner with them. So I began to make contact with the organizers, and well, that's how I'm here. So WebStacker is a tech company that uses cutting edge technologies to provide quality websites and mobile app development services, digital marketing services, and data mining and analytics for businesses and companies. So our spectrum goes beyond Port Harcourt. But of course, like they say, charity begins at home. So for all these things we do, and in addition to this, we also do training. So one of the organizers said that one of the most concern for them right now is interns, being able to mentor some interns. So in that regard, I'm sure we'll be able to come in and I'll discuss with management, and then we'll see how we can take as much interns as we can per time, after the event. You can reach us on www.webstacker.com. Every other information you need about us is there. Okay, so that is basically what I was asked or sent to do. So I believe I've done justice to my state. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's really, really amazing. So we're going to take Inform Her. That's a project by Heligate. Please, Heligate, can we put our hands together for Heligate as they come to tell us what Inform Her really, really is? I'm not even scared about you projecting. My fear is whether on your wedding day you know go hold laptop.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, my name is Godfrey. I also Godfrey, and I want to talk about inform her. So basically, everything started from trying to accelerate the learning curve of developers coming up. So what we do is that we believe everybody can pick up material up on YouTube and learn how to build HTML pages. We also believe anybody can pick up any course on Udemy and learn product management. But the experience that people don't actually get is how to work in a community, or how to work in a structured environment. And Ellis Gate came up with an idea to actually start a mini training session to gather people that wants to, like the Twitter term, 10x their experience. And so what we did was we brought up a project, and we were looking for a project that would tackle problems that people are actually facing in the community. And somebody from Motive, a sister company, came up with the idea of Inform Her. So the idea around Informer is this. We believe there are young girls, there are women out here moving from, I don't know, childhood to teenage or to puberty, and they believe that there are questions they would like to ask, and they don't know who to go to. And people have gotten wrong information by asking their classmates or people they believe have answers to their questions. It can be from what to do when you get your first period, or your body moving left, and you don't know what to do about it. So what we came up with an idea that where we can actually have a platform where young ladies can actually come up and ask the right question. And we'll also get experts. And the experts in this case are health professionals that will come up there and actually answer their question. Now, we've been able to talk to a few health experts in the University of Port Harcourt, and they've brought out their time to actually come up on the platform and answer questions. So what we've done is that we actually shared the questions into a couple of categories. Very funny. It's from personal hygiene to gay sex to a lot of categories where people can actually ask questions. Now, you can actually say that it's a little bit dicey, but this is a very huge problem. It's a very big problem in the society, and nobody is actually giving these girls attention. I don't know if I'm going to have time, but we already have we have a platform, a web platform for people that don't have mobile phones. Also have a mobile platform where people can actually go and work on. So it's in two categories. There's the teen app. We call it the teen app, where the young ladies actually going to download and ask their questions. It's available on iOS and Android. And also questions related to personal hygiene. I can go there and see similar questions that have been asked before I'm going to ask them. I feel with this, I've actually explained what it's all about. I actually thought this was going to be a demo, but at least I've done justice to what I can do. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you so much, Heligate, for what you're doing. But please don't forget the men. Sometimes I feel the men need more empowerment these days. If you know, you know. Yeah. So, and again, please, if you can make it general, you don't know how important this thing is. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Talking to you seriously. If you can make distance general, not just the women, everybody now. The reason is because I should have been a pilot, but I ended up becoming an MC, talking nonsense and making money. But the truth, I would have been a pilot. Truth, true story, true story. Um, Pilot rather, yeah, true story. Growing up, some things could favor you. I had my elder cousin, an older cousin who had a girlfriend who was working with the then Nigerian aviation, this thing in Zaria. So they just started and they gave a scholarship at the time for pilots. So the whole family agreed that it should be me. Nami get stubborn head pass. So I should be the one to go to. And then there was this Mr. Our local Mr. Know All. Like everybody in the whole community goes to him for questions. If something comes up, they go to him to ask him, how do we do this? So my family decided to consult the mini oracle. And then the guy shouted. He said, do you want to kill him? Do you know what it takes to be a pilot? The guy will be in school for 9 years first. When he finish 9 years, he will now start the pilot school again. And so he's made to finish secondary primary school, finish secondary school, graduate university, and marry, have children. Him still they try to be pilot. And that was how the whole family decided that there's no point. And then me, Kwanu, with the armed with that part of information, I decided not to be a pilot again. Because there's no way I'm going to be trying to fly one piece of metal in the middle of the earth and my age mates will gain everything on the face of the earth. Few years down the line, in my 200 level, I dabbled on a document and I realized it takes between 3 to 6 months to have your PPL. And then 6 to 18 months to have your CPL. So invariably, if I combine both of them, in less than 2 years, I would have become at least a first officer. I trace back our oracle. The guy don't pack. Because if I collect and now I have to pay hundreds of millions for just a small misinformation. So I'm just trying to buttress that what you guys are doing is amazing. You never can tell how much that information could save a lot of young women. So please celebrate them once again. All right, at this time, we're going to be taking another amazing speaker who has been here all the time. And he's going to be telling us how to design for social impact. Put our hands together as we bring up stage another wonderful speaker here with us in the city of Port Harcourt, our own very Davio White. And so before I hand over the microphone to Davio White, all right, so before I hand over the microphone to David White, you need to know this guy. He's a brand and product designer with over 2 years experience. Bros, if you get 2 years experience for brand and brand design, you don't hammer. 2 years experience. So that's like he's been hitting it back to back. David started his tech journey in June 2000. He's concerned about brand growth and utmost value. Okay, 2020, sorry, forgive me. He's not making him look like he's really that old. He's not. Utmost value for any brand, and that comes his way. He works remotely as a product designer for Chiva App Nigeria, Flipex Nigeria, and NFT Notifier in Netherlands. So he's one of those people that are, pressing our neck with dollar. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not busy, please put your hands together once again as it walks us through the journey of designing specifically for social impact.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How many persons are designers in the house? Okay, amazing. I like to be in the presence of designers, even though I don't have so much experience. Some people think you need to have like 5 years experience before you can actually speak to people, right? But honestly, I've spoken to several persons and I really love to speak. Today, I'll be talking on a topic that I actually love so much. It's called designing for social impact. And I'm a bit tensed. I don't know, but I think I would like to say it so maybe it will relieve me of the tension. All right, so this is a content I'll be sharing with you today. And so let's start with what is social impact design. So I'll be talking on design. Social impact design can be defined as design that attempts to address humanitarian challenges, such as enhancing the living situations of its people. So it's more or less a product or solution one embarks on to more or less solve a problem. One of those problems would be hunger. So someone can embark on a journey to solve the problem of hunger. Do you know it's possible? With a product, you can be able to create something that would solve the problem of hunger, the problem of, let's say, water supply. I was talking in an event recently, and I brought in the water situation in Kenya. in a very remote community, and they have that issue. So more than 90%, research has shown that more than 90% of millennials, which are older people, say they would switch brands to one that supported a good cause. So they are in their, let's say, in their early 40s and 50s, and they are not more interested in just making money from what they do. There are a lot of persons that would work on a project because they want to make money from it. Do we understand? But these people are saying they would want to work for projects that would emit better results to the economy, to the society at large. So people today are more likely to spend more for things that have a positive impact, social impact, and are more motivated to alter the world for the better. A lot of things are happening across the world. We have the flood in Nigeria. There are people trying their best to create solutions in terms of donation applications and the rest of them that can tackle these things, where people can just easily donate and they can send out relief materials to people affected, especially, I won't mention a place actually, but all over Nigeria. So one of the things I'll be talking about is understanding the problem, and I have limited time, so I'll be talking really fast. So understand the problem and the users. That's some of the steps you can take to creating a solution that is more or less beneficial to your society. All right. So many persons want to create solutions, but they are not willing to make research. So you need to make research. As a product designer, I make a lot of research, and so far this year, I've built 8 products currently in development. It's unbelievable, but it's the genuine truth. So many persons don't want to make this research. They just want to dive in and just start creating. And this is something that is very important. You have to remember that the users come first, not you as a designer or the product owner who is the PO or the PM. So the first step in designing a product for social impact is to start with a broad societal problem and then narrow in on a specific pain point. So people have a lot of problems in Nigeria. I'm using Nigeria as a case study before we talk about Africa. And I think the world have their own issues, but they are actually taking care of themselves very well. So a lot of persons, you need to narrow this. So if we say we want to solve hunger in Nigeria, you have to start from somewhere. So which state has the most number of hungry people? Do we know? So you need to narrow these things down to that particular point, and then from there you can scale. All right. So you don't say, "Oh, I want to solve the problem in Africa," and Africa is really big. It will be a task that might not be achieved within a short time. The specific pain point is to tackle the specific pain point to tackle would come from a deep understanding of your user. Dia wanted to solve a problem in the healthcare space. She personally worked in a hospital where she witnessed healthcare professionals rely on bygone technologies. You see, since I told you I was feeling tense, I'm now picking up. Do you understand? So I hope you learned from that too. So healthcare professionals rely on bygone technologies like landlines, fax machines, and even pagers. These make this made even the simplest tasks difficult to accomplish, as teams found themselves disconnected from one another. To get a full view, she needed a range of perspectives. A range, not just a particular section, not just your friends or your family, but she needed to speak to other people as well concerning the same problem, because whether you like it or not, a lot of persons are passing through a particular problem that you feel like only a set of people are passing through. So she had to look at different perspectives, and Dia spoke with nearly 100 different hospitals. So 100, not just one or two, but she spoke to a lot of persons because she wanted insights. She wanted to understand, is this thing really a problem, and can it have a major impact in our society? Do we understand? So she had to make that research, and it's important to be empathetic in this process. When I was speaking at another event, I told them that if you want to tackle a problem, if you want to create a solution for a problem, you need to be empathetic towards it. Now, you need to place yourself in those people's shoe. If the people are feeling like, oh, we're being left out, you need to feel like them. That way, you'll be able to solve that problem in time. And that means taking on projects or working on social impact projects that resonate with you, that you have a passion for. Do we understand? Just like Inform has said, they have a passion for creating those kind of solutions for the ladies, and it's something that they will keep doing. All right, so you need to have passion for whatever projects that you'll be working on. Be an active listener and ask engaging questions. This will also help your users feel involved. So this is basically talking about research. I'll just keep that to the next one. Brainstorm and build an MVP. A lot of persons want to put out a solution, but when you want to put out a solution, you feel like I need to give I need to give these people everything. You don't need to give them everything, and that's why we call it MVP. It's the first product that goes out to test whether these people that you created this solution for really want it, because there are solutions that are out there. If I'm not exaggerating things, there are over 1,000 products created annually in Nigeria, from fintechs to agriculture to education, a lot of products. Do people really need these things? How can we test that people actually need this solution that would create an impact in our society? And this is where it works. After understanding the problem space and people affected by the problem, it is important to build a minimum viable product, which is called MVP. The MVP is an early version of the product that you can use to validate you're going in the right direction. So this guides you. It tells you, okay, this solution, I don't want to call any product that is popular. Maybe let's say Pitaqua. This Pitaqua solution can help people in Port Harcourt. How can it help people in Port Harcourt? All right, so that is something you need to look at also. I once had an idea about a product. It was called Pitaqua app. It had its own issues around because another person said they had the same ideas. I'm sorry to bring this up here, but I had done the product and posted it on my Behance account like time before those people started talking about it. So they felt like it's their idea, and it caused a lot of issues. Honestly, I got calls from their COO and their founder, supposed founder. It was an app that I felt like tourists coming into Port Harcourt would be able to see places, even though we don't have places aside the one opposite us or adjacent to us. Yeah, so I felt like it could be that kind of application that would also showcase places like hotels, showcase our artists. We have a lot of amazing singers. So I felt like with that app, you can be able to study everything about Port Harcourt. And that's why I named it Pitaqua app. Do we understand? So in there, you can get everything, our bullet, our food, everything that you want. And I think it would solve a problem somehow. So is your goal to reduce CO2 emissions? So these are some questions you need to ask yourself as the founder or the person going into this product, even as a member in the team. The next one is keep the team motivated. So a lot of persons want to work on projects. I've had people reach out to me and they're like, Dave, you have seen your portfolio. I really want to work with you. But this is what they call it, equity. This is an equity project. We're not going to be paying you. But their approach is really bad. There are people I've had to work for free, and because of their approach. So you need to keep people motivated. In as much as you need to keep people motivated, you need to know how to approach people, because there are people that have built certain products and they feel like at this point I cannot work for free. There are a lot of persons like that, and I'm telling you, there are a lot of designers in PH that are doing really well, and they're really doing well. And to approach them, you have to approach them in a very cordial manner. So the first step in designing a product for social impact is to start with a broad societal problem and then narrow. We said this initially. You may have big dreams of solving this issue of world hunger. I had to bring it on hunger because, trust me, a lot of persons are hungry in PH. And anytime you go out and someone asks you to give them something and you feel like you trust this person, what I do is, I'll be sincere with you. What I do is I'll take you to a place where I can buy you food. I won't give you the money because, we have those issues of juju. You give something and you disappear or you turn to rat. So I don't want to fall into that scene. So I will take you to a place and I'll buy you what you said you want. If you say you have all these people hanging their bags and say they want to pay transport to so place, I will take you to the car park or those bus station, and then I'll put you in the car and pay the driver. If you come down later and collect the money, is your business. But I won't give you with my hand. Do you understand? All right, so this is a problem. Hunger is a problem. It will start. So I think I missed, where was I? Second line or third? Okay, second. But the more specific you get, the easier it will be to start. The while you are in development phase, it is important to keep the team motivated. Whichever way you can keep them motivated, even as a founder, you need to get money. Trust me, you need money to keep the team motivated. You can't expect people to be working from January to, let's say the product is going to take 6 months, and you want them to work from January to June for free. No, you need to keep them motivated. Send them data. All right. Once in a while, call them out. People should hang out. Even though people are not taking something, drink water. I'm giving you examples of things you can do that would keep them motivated. They'll feel valued. They'll feel that presence, that this person is not all about this project, even though you're all about the project. You understand? Yeah. So the while you are in the development, it is important to keep the team motivated. Understand that people get excited and are driven by different reasons. Dia personally encountered two types of people as she worked on this solution. First, there were those who wanted to work in healthcare for personal reasons. So those reasons might be maybe they lost someone as a result of lack of funds. You know, we lose a lot of people. They rush them to BMH. That place has looked like it's another mortuary. You take people there and they lose their life. So they might have these personal issues. Maybe they try to raise funds online through the GoFundMe, and it didn't pave through. So they feel like if I'm in this sector and I help build this product, it will help friend, like I said, or family experience the pains of communicating in a hospital as a patient. Second, she met those who care about solving hard, not easy, but hard problems. So these are problems that might be very unique to the society. Um, a lot of fintechs are coming out, and I always tweet about this, and I'll tell you, every design is a redesign. So it will show in the aspect of fintech. You find out we have the wallet feature. We always have the wallet feature because it's a fintech app. Do you understand? Just a few of them are going into the virtual card system, which is unstable, even with buy button. Sorry for mentioning that brand. All right. So second, she met these folks are intrigued by challenges and like to aggressively tackle any goals they set. So these are people that love hard problems. They like to solve any problem that is thrown at them. Another stuff is measure impact. So this is a screen I designed. It's like a donation app. It's a fictional product. It's not something I think I would do in the future. So if you want to do it, no problem. All right. So this application helps one donate to several bodies. So just like the GoFundMe account, it is more you can, I don't know how to explain it now, but it has a lot of meaning. Measure impact. To ensure the product is truly making an impact, it's important to set quantifiable goals, have a North Star metric that the team chases with supporting metrics to ensure you're going in the right direction. And a North Star metric is the one measurement that's most predictive of companies' long-term success. With the solution, the team was mainly interested in the number of patients they were able to help than the money they were able to collect. So this is social impact. Social impact, you're more about helping people that are displaced, people that need this help, than making money from it. So whenever you hear social impact, don't think about making money from it. It's criminal to set good, it's critical, sorry, to set good metrics that show how close you are to achieving your mission. I would step to the next one. So you have to set goals to be able to understand, is this product actually making an impact to the society? Do we understand? So, and that's something a product designer does after the product is launched. You have to go back and collect data and check for things that would help the product scale. We're concerned about the growth of a product that's already gone into the market. Challenges and opportunities. And challenges and opportunities in design for social impact are essentially the same. One, striving for critical feedback, embracing self-critical criticality in intent, method, and means in order to benefit the common good and give voice to the previously marginalized. Two, vigilance against self-interest. So the desire to work towards change, even when it benefits another over you. So you don't care if the next person, maybe that neighbor that was bad to you, would benefit from this. Do you understand? You're more interested that the person gets the help that is needed. So treat everybody equally, shifting authority and control to the previously disenfranchised. Three, persistence against orthodoxy. I tried pronouncing this word, but it's hard. I don't know. It's just maybe from where I'm, the place I'm from. The willingness to challenge those in power and to question the status quo, ensuring that ideas about tradition, custom, and convention are not allowed to stand in for what is right. I'll stop there. In conclusion, when designing a product for social impact, it helps to form a relationship with your users. As a startup founder, it will be easiest to go after the lowest common denominator or someone that is universally included in different groups of stakeholders. As you continue to design and build products for social impact, it's also important to network with those in your space. So networking is very important. Network with people because you never can tell who would bring the best ideas to your team. And I hope this helps someone today. I always say this online, and that's why it's my quote. Anything is possible if you believe, and always remember that you are your own limit. Thank you.
Isn't that brilliant? Please celebrate him once again. One of the things I took from his speech is when he said that he would have loved to solve food problem in the world, but he's not going to take that. So in case if you are interested in doing it, please do. I think that's one of the wisest statement anybody has made in recent time. He's a wise man. I learned of a story of how French were punishing students. So if you come to school late, they give you dry bread to eat. So you see students crying, oh, I can't eat dry bread. And then by next week, you see the student coming early. So someone came down from the French country, came to Africa and decided to try it in Africa. Teachers started coming late. And truly, truly, there's hunger in the land. There's hunger in the land. I didn't know how bad it was until when I saw one of the biggest supermarkets in Abuja. They are selling firewood now. Because there's no money to buy gas to even cook the food. And then, before now, you see people make posts on social media. Maybe somebody's wife give birth and you see it's a baby girl, mother and baby doing fine. How many of us have seen that? They have changed it though. It's no longer that anymore. It is now, it's a baby girl, mother and child doing well, father did not run away. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be hearing one of the very prevalent voices that we'll be having in the tech ecosystem. And we are privileged to have him join us now. So, without further ado, do I even know how to use these things again? We're going to be having one of our speakers speak to us directly from his own comfort zone. I don't know where in there right now, but I know that he's going to be speaking to us. So at this time, we'll be joining one of our speakers who's going to be speaking to us virtually. And I can see, oh, okay, already have someone there. Okay. I thought we've allowed you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be having one of our speakers speak to us. What's happening to our microphone? Village people. Yeah. We can't find a microphone. How? No, no, it won't still. If we can't find a microphone, then it won't join. Do you mind? Okay. That means they have not plugged our stuff. Okay, it's unplugged, please. That's it. That's the cable. Yeah, that's one. I think that's where our problem was coming from. Hmm? Yeah, I think it comes with a mic. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm not sure it's recognizing it. It's not recognizing it. It is supposed to have an internal one. Sorry, guys. Okay, so maybe where we are trying to resolve. Okay, do we have it now? Thank you, plenty. All right. Ah, we can see us. Nice. So now you're about to, bros, not a wave hand. I'm going to do football pitch. But I like that, by the way. So we can test. So you can wave your hand again. Let's see. Uh-huh. So we'll see you. Don't worry. You cannot tell your village people you have appeared on television. All right. So we are about to join. And please, could we get. Okay. So we will be taking one of our speakers. So while we are getting ready for him to join us and take on, let me quickly appreciate everyone here today for all the amazing things you are doing and how you have been patient with us. In a bit, we are going to be switching things up a bit and try something different. But please don't forget that we still have our match. Do not leave here without purchasing something from the match. Real quickly, who is this person that is going to be speaking to us? Let's see. That will be our brother. So in a bit, we'll be having Bruce Lucas speak to us. Let's just get him to join us real quickly. Just 1 minute. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please note them down. We are going to give a special time for questions. Hospital that provides medical services by verified doctors to the elderly at the front the comfort of their homes in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the privilege of having with us one of the foremost voices in terms of the tech community and the tech society in Nigeria and an extension in Africa. Please, if your hands are not busy, can we put them together for one of these ace, Bruce Lucas. Hello, Bruce.
You for the whole, so I'm not sure if it's time yet.
It is time. We can hear you. Go ahead. Can you hear us? Please go ahead and speak.
No audio. If you guys can hear me, there's no audio
Yeah, we can hear you.
from your end.
All right, Bruce, can you hear us? Hello, Bruce.
Oh, very well. Now I can hear you.
Oh, thank you so much. Please,
I'm hoping you can hear me too, please.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So I'm pretty much suffering from some network currently in Bielsa, and I may not be able to stay on the video, but if the audio is good enough, I'll just want to say a few things and then make sure I wrap up as fast as possible before the next.
All right, Bruce, please go ahead.
Okay. Now you're connected back in. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to wrap up very fast so the network does not become a major hindrance to the things I have to say. And congratulations on the team that's pulling this off, organizing tech. You can also use it for good. So my name is Bruce Lucas. I'm currently addressed as a pastor and not a church pastor, but a tech pastor. I preach tech. I do everything tech. I hold deliverance in tech, counseling in tech, and everything your pastor would do in church, I do so in tech. And I'm happy to do so across the region. And so it has taken most of everything I do in tech. So my journey is going to start from the fact that um, of one particular event. And that event happened when I saw a printer print out a paper of the greetings card. And the moment I saw the paper come out with colors and designs